One of my main misconceptions about sales was that it was very transactional. And the main thing that I learned after my training program and also during my year and a half in the field so far is that the basis of sales is really in relationship development. And I think getting to know your customers and really know what drives their business, what their goals are, and understanding their pain points is what's going to allow you to understand how and what to sell to them. And that's really what I think has changed my mindset and really helped me become a lot better at sales and understanding how to develop those relationships, in turn developing that trust moving forward.
Being a journalism major, one misconception that I guess I probably had was more emotional, that going into a sales environment, everybody would be mean, so to speak. I was, going to college, writing, and everything about a degree in, a career in business was a big misconception that I quickly got over, because the moment I set foot at ESPN, nobody's ever been more welcoming than the previous boss who hired me, in addition to the entire team, which is fantastic. So it's amazing, how, when you really put your mind to something, regardless of whether or not you go to school for marketing, journalism, communications, it's that creativity and that diversity of thought can really take you a long way, which is something that I am a testimonial to.
One misconception I had about sales is that everybody had to be the same personality. I thought it was one personality that you had to have in order to be a good salesperson. What I've come to realize is that that's certainly not the case, and it's really more about the character and the process and the discipline that you have in your role to do your job well and be effective.
My biggest misconception about sales, it's kind of piggybacking of what Aaron had just said, was that I thought sales would be easy for an extrovert. And I'll be the first to say that it's not. And I also learned a lot about, meaning that there's a lot of different sales personalities for sales. And also, I thought that sales folks made a lot of money and that it was easy money to be made, but I learned a lot about quota compensation and where you're gold within sales.
My biggest misconception when I was at school, sitting in the same seats you guys were, that sales was really cold calling. I'm going to sit behind a desk, I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to have 200 phone calls I need to make a day, or I'm going to be driving around into individual stores and trying to sell. And I would say, working for Johnson & Johnson in the consumer packaged goods industry, I would say my job is very, very different than that. It's much more of a marketing field job. You're building relationships and you're really developing and differentiating your customer with different 4 Ps. And how you develop those programs at your customers.
I was afraid people were pretty much going to be mean. I was afraid I was going to show up in someone's office and they were going to be like, pretty much, what are you doing here? And I thought it was going to be a lot more intimidating than it really was. The company I worked for within Phillips is called Letelier. Letelier is over 100 years old. They actually invented track lighting. Needless to say, they had a great relationship with all the architects and engineers within this territory. So, all those existing relationships really helped my transition into the sales role.
The other misconception I think that I wanted to share is sometimes when people hear the word salesman, they think of the sleazy used car salesman who would sell a broken down car to his grandmother to get a commission check. But I think what I've found is the most successful salespeople that I've worked with have an incredible amount of integrity and honesty, and I would say in a lot of cases even more so than other departments. I think in my world, in the sports industry, it's a small enough industry that everybody kind of knows everybody in some way. And if you do things to lose your integrity, you never get it back. And so I think one thing that I'd like to stress is just the importance of integrity, and like I said, honesty, and those things really matter when you're building relationships.
I think my biggest misconception is that, was that sales was sort of for C students, as we like to say, or not rocket science, or in whatever way you want to put it. And I've worked with a lot of really smart people, and I'm certainly at WGBH fortunate to work with a lot of very smart people, and some of the best salespeople I've known are, really professional, really smart, and really enjoy their careers. The added plus at WGBH is that I now get to do what I like to do and what I've found my way of being reasonably good at with a mission.
recently moved into a director role where I'm managing a team of 11 folks. 8 folks in more of a senior level sales capacity that have accounts themselves, and 3 folks that are more in a sales support role. So we do actually have openings in both of those roles, so if you are interested, the sales support roles are 0 to 5 years of experience, and the sales roles are anywhere from 5+ years experience.
Currently, we do most of our recruiting for our co-ops and SOD programs. We'll be back on campus in the September-October timeframe. So work with your, I think your co-op advisors and your advisors to work with when we're back on campus for the interview process. And if you're ever interested, you can always visit jnj.com/careers for any other job openings.
As far as open positions, like I said, every year 10 to 15 people are hired right out of college, and they really invest in their new hires. That's one thing that was really attractive for me. And I'm very happy where I am.
In terms of openings, we're not actively hiring for new positions. We are looking for a closer. Anybody can throw a baseball 95 miles an hour. But we do have pretty good internship programs. We've got, on the Red Sox side, an annual summer internship program that has 10 or 12 people. It's mostly for rising juniors rising into their senior year. And you can apply, you can send a resume to internships@redsox.com if you're interested. That's a great program. It is highly competitive. Fenway Sports Management also has a great internship program. The same email address can be used for that. And we do often hire folks at the entry level that have that, and we do have a good sort of path to success. I actually started as an unpaid intern in the summer of 2003, in between teaching 8th grade math to my 3rd and 4th year teaching. So I was lucky enough to get the sort of the classic cliche foot in the door, get the foot in the door, and then just don't let them shut the foot on your door. So when they asked me to leave, I sort of said, no, I'm going to stay, and I kind of convinced them.
In my little corner of the world, because there are over 800 people at WGBH, we don't have any openings, but everything, including internships, goes up onto WGBH.org. So I can speak with you with any degree of specificity, but if you're interested in the company, it's a great environment. There's certainly it's an educational foundation, so you might see something that's of interest to you, kind of get in the door as an assistant, as an AP, something like that, and find your way to work with us.